Hey everybody, coming on here real quick. I'm in the car, as you can tell. I'm coming on here real quick to give you an update on the interview that I went to a couple weeks back. And I got an email from the person on the hiring committee that they decided to go with someone else. So it's okay. It's funny how a person goes through hearing news, whether it be good news or bad news. We kind of all go through some kind of transition of feelings. And at first I was really shocked, I guess, but not overly shocked. I didn't have the mindset that I had the job, I knew that I did pretty well in the interview, and I thought, to myself that I could be one of the people they pick, because I felt good about my answers to the questions and our interactions that we had during the interview and everything like that. And I just felt like, it could happen. Sure. Why not? And then a little bit of sadness set in for a short time, but not long. Like I said, it was more or less when I started picking apart, the interview and things that I was told during the interview and things I learned through, researching the unit, that made me almost feel glad that I didn't get it. And I'll tell you why. Mainly, the job that this person is going to be doing is managing a team of people that does data entry. Like day in and day out, they do data entry. And, at the time when I'm in an interview, I'm caught up in the moment of, presenting myself in a professional manner and, trying to make sure that I answer the questions they ask thoroughly, trying to make sure that my communication is clear, all those things that you do. Making eye contact, your mind is focused on that. And afterwards is when I start really, thinking about the questions that they asked me and thinking about the information they shared with me. And they asked a lot of questions about how I would motivate the team and how I would handle morale and all of those kinds of things. So, and this is pure speculation, but those things screamed to me that, let's face it, data entry is not a fun job to do. It's not. And it takes a very special person to actually like that. And so if you like data entry, you're a very special person. a lot of people like to have a little bit of diversity in their career. They don't want to just go to work and do the same thing over and over again. Feel like a robot, right? So, but there are people that love that. Their head is wired for that. So, basically, I got the impression that this team is miserable in their existence, and they need motivating. They need someone that is going to make them feel good about their work, make them enjoy their work. You can't make someone enjoy their work. You can make someone feel better about the job they're doing, but it doesn't always, it's a constant thing. Like if someone is a if someone is a negative person, I don't know where that beep was coming from. I swear, sometimes if you don't like punch it whenever it's green, people are beeping at you. I'm like, really? This is not New York City. Get off me. State college, people. Anyway. Drives me crazy. What was I doing? What was I talking about? Oh, the motivation. Like, you can't change someone from being, like, if they've always been a negative, like, grouchy, not so happy person, you can't change that. That's part of their personality. You can tweak it a little bit, but they have to want to tweak it first of all. No one's going to do anything to anybody if if they don't want to do it themselves. So, to me, that would be a major challenge, and not that I couldn't do it, but it would make the job not as enjoyable. Another thing that I picked up on after the fact was that I myself would have this constant expectation of looking at all this data all the time. So I'd be staring at the data and looking for inconsistencies or problems or anything like that. And to me, that also seems kind of like, snooze fest in a way. I think it would be okay to do here and there, but it sounds like they run reports all the time and all of that. And doing that, leading a team of, people that do a boring job, looking at data all the time, which can also get kind of boring and monotonous, and then, communicating the wishes and desires on how the system could change to iTech. That really boils down to what the job is. It was like 3 things. And, I don't know. I do like more than 3 things. I manage a team. I work in the public view, so we do customer service. We solve problems. I mean, there's just a lot of things that I do on a regular basis that is so different. My day is always different. And I like that. That's what I like about my job the most. And I feel like this job would have, after the newness would have worn off, I would have been not as content to be there. So, and honestly, this could be just my fancy way of talking myself out of the fact that I didn't get it, too. But I feel like, that's probably a good thing that I didn't get it. It was all for the best. So, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it now. And, life goes on, right? We gotta move on. But, one of the reasons that I applied for the job to begin with is because it was part of the Alumni Center. And I do have a passion for alumni stuff because it's very similar to what I do in the libraries. And that is basically promoting the university. We promote the university in a lot of ways, even though it doesn't seem like it. But you can tie everything that we do into promoting, academia. So, and the alumni does the same thing, but it promotes outside more so. And the ones that are leaving academia and going off into the workaday world kind of thing. So, I don't know. I think that's why I applied for it to begin with, because the job description was really unclear to me. There were parts of it that made sense, but there were other parts that was unclear. And the fact that, another thing I forgot to mention, that they couldn't walk me through a typical day in the interview. I always ask that question because I want to know, what do you consider a typical day for this person in this position? And they couldn't really answer that question. They kind of danced around it a little bit, and they gave me a few snippets of information, but it wasn't the full extent. So I was, because I didn't get the satisfaction from the job interview, like the information that I was really seeking. And like I said, at the time, I was caught up in the moment, and I didn't really think about it. I always think about it really with a clearer mind after the fact. And after doing that, that's when I realized that, you know, this probably is an okay thing. It's fine, you know. I mean, regardless, it has to be fine, because if you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, that's just the way it is. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, wanted to update you all on that. So I will be at the library for a bit longer, which is good. I don't dislike my job. In fact, I enjoy my job very much. I'm just looking to change things up a little bit, and you know, expand my career a little bit too. You know, I've graduated now, and it's nice to think about doing some other things. So, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go in the garage. It's gonna get dark. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well and having a good day today. My day is going great so far. No fights with the kids this morning. I mean, hey, right there. Right there is a good thing. Teenage girls. Oh my gosh. I tell ya. I don't know how my parents could stand me when I was younger. Maybe they couldn't. You know? Anywho, there's something else I wanted to say. Oh yes, I have good news too. My mother and I booked our travel and lodging for the International Doll and Teddy Show. That's going to be in Orlando, Florida this June. Yeah, the end of June. So we will be there. We will be there with bells on. I'm excited. This will be my very first doll show. And of course, I'm going to be meeting up with some people that I met with before when I went to Jacksonville. And yeah, it'll be great. I can't wait. I really can't. I don't know if I'm taking a baby with me. I just don't know. It depends on how many bags we can take and whether or not I can fit a baby in a bag, because I don't carry them around. I'm just, you know me, guys, I'm not comfortable in my skin with that. So I do not carry dolls around in public. I do if I'm, like, once I'm there, I will, because I don't know anybody there. But yeah, otherwise I don't. So they stay in the bags and everything. We're taking a train. We're not flying. Flying was going to cost double what it costs to go on a train. And my mother really loves trains. She has a passion for trains. And she mentioned when we went to Jacksonville that, gosh, she wished we would have taken the train. And I was like, the train? And she said, yeah, there's a passenger train that goes out of, you know, a town close by. And I was like, really? I said, I didn't know that. And she's like, yeah, she said, they're much more comfortable, and, you know, they go, you don't have to worry about traffic and all that. And then, of course, she had to throw in the fact that, there's been a lot of train wrecks lately, so she didn't know how comfortable she feels about both of us taking a train. And I said, well, you know, yes, there might have been a lot of wrecks, but think about the number of trains that are on the railways all the time that haven't wrecked. I mean, it's the same with plane crashes. Like, you know, they have plane crashes. There's like no spaces today. I gotta find one. Hey, there's Rick. So anyway, there's it's like plane crashes, like I said. When plane crashes happen, people get freaked out about flying. But really, like I said, you have to keep in mind the number of planes that are constantly in the air, and the actual small number of planes that are, they're talking about that are crashing. So, yeah. I mean, you take a risk no matter what. You take a risk if you drive. You take a risk if you fly. Traveling is a risky business, But we travel to work, to and from every day, and, we're all good. We're all fine and dandy when we get home. And we can wreck just as easily driving to and from work. So, I mean, you gotta weigh the odds, I guess, of everything. So, but yeah, I will leave you guys with, that final note that I am going to the doll show, so I'm excited about that. And, yeah, it'll depend on the baby situation, whether I can take one or not. And, yeah, I don't know if there's any requests for any dolls that people would like to see if you're going. Don't have very many silicones anymore. I just have Mia and Grayson, but Grayson's for sale and he's on layaway, so I won't be taking him anywhere, just because I don't want to run the risk of having something happen to someone else's baby that I'm babysitting. Right? Is that the... But Mia would be easy to take. When I had Charles, I took him with me to Jacksonville. And of course I took Matilda with me and one of the triplets with me to New Jersey. But that was an easy trip because I can drive there. And when I can take a doll in my car, it's easier for me. I don't feel so much a nervous wreck taking them in my own vehicle than I do packing them in a suitcase or trying to get them on a plane, or, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't. And then when you have the doll there, I'm not going to be able to take a stroller. I know some people manage to take strollers even on a plane. I don't know if you pay for extra baggage and stuff or what, but I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I would either have to have a carrier thing that attaches to me that I could pack, or I'd have to hold the doll, which is another thing. And I really, as much as I know it's fun to see other people's dolls and everything, my main objective is to see the people again that I met before, and friends that I've made, and also to see dolls from artists and other collectors that are going to bring their dolls. So that's kind of my main objective. And lugging around my own doll may prohibit me from enjoying myself as much, because I'll constantly be thinking about, if I leave it in the hotel, and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to, I don't know how to say that, I guess, to make it sound good, like a good thing. But anyway, I think it'll be fine if I don't take one. I'll probably be tempted to buy one if I don't take one, which might be a reason to take one. Because I am trying to not, get into that business of, although being able to see it first is nice, which is good compared to looking at pictures or talking to people about, a doll. So, I don't know. We'll see. See what I can come up with. See what comes about during that time. So, thank you all for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back, hopefully for Theme Thursday. I might be lazy, and I have some dolls already in outfits. Again. It just depends. I really want to record the wacky video that I have in mind with Goldie this evening. And so I'm hoping to do that. But I also need to get Theme Thursday in, because any of you that are new, my internet's terrible at my house. And I always have to pre-record videos. So sometimes I let it slip on what day it is actually. I used to always say what day it was. I don't do that anymore. I just roll with it and pretend that it's the day it's supposed to be. So it doesn't sound so weird all the time. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that tonight, hopefully. See what happens. Alright guys, thank you all, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.